Hi everyone, it's Sarah Todd. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing my accessible makeup routine as highly requested. You can totally tell that I have sunscreen on my face right now. My face is not looking too good, so hopefully putting on some makeup will fix that. I am actually going to start by putting on my little lippy first because my lips are looking a little dry. This is from Tint Beauty. Tint Beauty is a new accessible makeup brand, and since I can't move my left hand at all and my right hand is really weak and I can't lift my shoulders up higher than this, I love to look for makeup that is accessible. And these are so easy to open. I am actually able to open them with one hand. That just like pops off. And then this part is a little bit difficult because you do have to push this up. So what I usually do is I just hold it with my legs and then use my right hand to push it up. And then I have my little lippy. So let's put this on. It looks a little bit messy because I'm doing this through my phone, but it is a nice little pink shade and my lips are now a bit more moisturized. Then what's also super cool about these little lippies is to close them. They're so easy because they're pretty magnetic. So I usually just hold it with my left hand like around it on the table, and then I just put the top on and it kind of closes itself. Okay, now on to the actual face. I love this Milk Makeup skin tint. I have had this for almost 3 years. It has lasted me a while and they have sadly discontinued it, which really stinks because this is like a perfect match for my skin and it's so accessible. I asked the Sephora associate to recommend me some accessible foundations or skin tints, and this was the one that she recommended because once you take the top off, which I'll do by holding it with my legs and then pulling the top, which sometimes takes me a few tries. Top is off. You can see it has this little like roller ball at the top and then the product is in there. So you just put it down on a table and I can use like my elbow strength to push and the product dispenses out of the top. So it is so accessible. So I really hope that I can still get a lot more uses out of this because I love it. Then because I can't lift my shoulders up very high, I like to put my right elbow up on whatever surface I'm doing my makeup on. So right now I'm at my desk and that allows me to reach my face more easily. And then I just use this little roller ball and apply it directly onto my face, which I love. I'm not having to squeeze anything or push anything, which can be difficult with my limited hand movement. And then I feel like I want a little bit more, so I'm gonna dispense a bit more out. You can see, there it is. Okay, I think that's enough. Then to close it, it's so easy. I just put the cap on top and I just push down and it's closed. Okay, I love to use beauty blenders. This is my beauty blender. You can tell that she's kind of been through it, but I just find them to be really easy to hold and I like how they make your makeup look pretty dewy. I like a nice glass skin dewy look, especially in the warm weather. And then I always make sure that I'm like dabbing like this. You don't want to rub with a beauty blender because then the makeup just like comes off. So I always just like pat. Sometimes my hand gets a little bit tired after doing this, but this is a lot easier than a brush, in my opinion, for me. I honestly don't do a full face of makeup that often. I like to wear like tinted sunscreens or just sunscreen, but this is what I do when I'm like wanting a fuller face of makeup. And I like that it's actually still pretty simple and this looks pretty natural. Oh, you can already see how glowy this is. I love it. It just looks so good. I really wish they didn't discontinue it. I'm gonna be upset when mine runs out. Milk Makeup, if you see this, please bring back the skin tint, please. Okay, I think that is pretty much fully blended in. It looks super nice and dewy and glowy. Okay, after I do my skin tint, I like to do concealer. I love this concealer from Kosas. I think it's amazing. It blends in really nicely with my skin and it's easy for me to open. I just hold it with my legs and then I use my right hand to twist the top off. And this is what the applicator looks like. For concealer, I just put it under my eyes, but I don't put it right under my eyes because then it'll sink in and make it look a little bit creased. So I put it right there just to kind of lighten up a little bit. And then to close this concealer, it's really easy. I just put that back in there and then I hold it with my legs again and just twist it closed. So there we go. Okay, to blend my concealer in, it's a little bit more difficult if I have my elbow up on something because I feel like it's a little bit of an awkward angle, but we work with it. We do what we have to do to get the glam on. And see how that brightens up my eyes, but it's not like right under there. That's what I like to do. I also have really sensitive skin and eyes, so I try not to get things like too close to my eyes because I don't want to have watery eyes all day. And there we go. Concealer is all blended in and I look just a little bit more awake. Okay, next in my routine is bronzer. I love this Rare Beauty bronzer. This is the shade Power Boost, I think. Yes, this is Power Boost. I love this. I find Rare Beauty products so easy to open and close because Selena actually made Rare Beauty with accessibility in mind. So we love her. We love Rare Beauty. To open this one, I once again hold it with my legs and then I'm able to just pull the top right off. That took me no time at all. And it's gotten a little bit messy with use, but this is what my bronzer looks like. And I like that it's a stick because it's easy for me to just apply it directly to my face. So I usually do like here, like my forehead, temples, kind of bring it a little bit under my cheeks. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to do too much. Then to close the bronzer, I just put the top on and push down, and you could probably hear that close. I also use a beauty blender for bronzer. It's a little bit more difficult to get the bronzer blended in because I feel like I have to like tap a little bit harder with the beauty blender, but if I spend enough time on it, I can get it looking really nice. This is one that I just have to be patient with and really blend in. So I also don't want the marks of where I put the bronzer to show, if that makes sense. And then doing the left side of my face for pretty much everything is always a bit more awkward because I have to like reach over with my elbow when it's on the table, but I'm still able to get it done. Blending, blend, blend, blend. And I feel like it doesn't add like a whole lot to my look, but it adds enough that I like to do it. Just adds a little something. Okay, bronzer is blended in. Just adds like a little bit to my face. Not much though, but it looks very natural. Okay, finally, my last step in my routine, because I usually don't do anything to my eyes since my eyes are so sensitive, like mascara really bothers my eyes, and I don't want to wear eyeliner or eyeshadow without mascara. So I really only do that for like nighttime events or like special events. So the last step in my routine is usually blush. I have been absolutely loving this new Rare Beauty blush. This is the shade Thriving. I usually use their liquid blushes and I find those super accessible and really cute, but I was so happy to find that I can actually open this blush because usually packaging like this is impossible to open with one partially paralyzed hand, but they designed it so that it's super easy to open. So what I do is I just mostly use my nails and put it in the lid, and then once I kind of get that through, I'm able to pull it open. So I was so happy to find how accessible that was. And look how gorgeous that shade is. It is a bright, bright pink. I love blush, so I love this one. So I usually just set that blush down on my desk or counter, and then I use the Rare Beauty blush brush. That's hard to say, to put it on. This is what the brush looks like. So I just have my blush sitting on my desk, and then I just tap the brush in the brush to get the product on. You can see it there, it is so bright. And then we go in and we hold our breath and hope that we don't overdo it, because that can easily happen with blush, especially with a bright shade like this. Ooh, look at that. She's gorgeous, love her. Now we're gonna go on the other side. I'm not putting my elbow on my table to do this side right now, because with blush, I find it easier to just do it like this. Okay, it's always hard to make it even. I think I need more on the left side. Okay, that looks so good. Oh, I just love this blush. It is beautiful. And then to close this, I am able to do that pretty easily. I just kind of hold it like this and then push it closed. I love how accessible that is. It's so slay. And here is my final makeup look. Loving the blush. I feel like it gives Sabrina Carpenter vibes. We both love a lot of blush, she and I. And I just love how natural this look is. Obviously there's a lot of blush, so that's the least natural part, but I feel like the skin tint, the concealer, and the bronzer all look pretty natural. This looks pretty glowy and dewy, which is what I always go for, like I said, especially in the warm weather. And I absolutely love this routine. I was able to open and close every single product that I used, so super accessible for me. I will link all of the products that are still available for sale in the description below, so if you would like to replicate this routine, you can do that for yourself. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and now I can start my day with my glam on.